Hello friends, welcome to BISP Solutions. Myself Ashwin and I work as a technical consultant at BISP Solutions. BISP Solutions is a tech company and provide technological solutions across the world. Now this is our third webinar in this series of migration of data from QuickBooks to Fusion. See, in our last two webinars, just have a quick recap. In our last two webinars, we have seen what the problem is, what the client wants to do, then how whatever he wants, how it is done, and we have also learned about what is BRD and all these things, right? In our second webinar, we have seen that how the data is pulled, how it is stored into the staging area, and then how we will communicate with the client, what things are necessary for pulling data and why we are pulling the data, what things comes across during the transformation of data. That means all the possible reasons, for example extra characters or some spaces, right? Just a second. Okay, so now let's move ahead. Now today, in our today's agenda, we will see data transformation in depth, right? So we will see data transformation in depth. Now data transformation means what? First of all, we will pull the data from the staging area. Now let me show you the staging area also, exactly what the staging area is. We have been continuously talking about staging area. Now see here, staging area is nothing, it's a place where your files are kept. For example, look at this. Now we have asked the client that please download your data from the QuickBook, right? Now downloading the data from the QuickBook, and now where he will put, if you go through the process of mail trail, it will become very lengthy process and very confusing process. It's very confusing. So now what we have done, we have created one folder in the SharePoint, and from there we will pull the data, right? So from here we will pull the data. We will download the like COA mapping sheet, right? Right now I have uploaded directly the sheet. Let me rename it COA sheet, right? Okay, here is QB COA sheet. Okay, now that the database administrator from the client side, he has downloaded the Excel sheet and put it into the staging area. So this is the staging area, and from here we will download this sheet, and then we will examine the original sheet, that how the data is coming here, and then we will compare it with our target system, that is the Fusion, and from that how it can be adjusted into the Fusion sheet, right? So this is our main task, right? So now once we have downloaded the sheet, okay, now let me show you one example. Look at this. One more second. Okay, now see here, this is the sheet that we have received from the QuickBooks side, right? So from QuickBooks we have received the sheet, and if you can see here, now we need to arrange it in our style, in our format, right? For example, whatever the sheet is downloaded in the QB or the QuickBooks, so that QuickBooks sheet is not necessarily matching with your requirement. It is not necessary that the same sheet is matching your all requirements. So in that case we have prepared one mapping sheet here. See here, this is our COA sheet from Fusion, right? So in Fusion, this type of sheet to insert huge amount of chart of accounts, so in that case we need such type of design, right? Right now if you see here, this sheet is not ready to upload, right? So what do we do now? We have to make it, we have to format it, or we have to make it in such a way that it should be able to upload in the Fusion. Clear? So for this, what we need to do, if you want to remove this, suppose if our consultant says that yeah, this first column A is not relevant, or any other column, if he says about any other column, so we can remove it. But instead of doing it manually, we will do it using Python script. Okay, so what we have done here, we have taken all the accounts here from here, and we have created, first of all we have created this, right? But we have to make it done through programmer also, because every time if we deploy our own accountant for this task only, it's not feasible. Okay, now what we need to do, so for this what we need to do, we have to make this mapping sheet. Now mapping sheet means what? Mapping sheet means same thing that we have done. For example, in Fusion, if you see here, like Smart Bank, if you have seen here, Smart Bank is the child of this Total Bank, right? Parent is the Total Bank and the child is Smart Bank. So after having a look on this sheet, it is clear. You can easily say that yeah, okay, these are the two childs, right? So, and after that, now suppose you have created this sheet, but again there is one step remaining. The step is that how developer will convert that file. Suppose if you provide to developer that this is our sheet from QB and this is our sheet that we need, now you do it. So developer will also be confused that in what format you need. So for this we have done here mapping sheet. Mapping sheet means suppose, as I have already explained you, some fields in here, some fields are called by other name and some fields are called by the same fields are called by other name in another system. For example, in QB QuickBooks, address is taken as ADDR1, ADDR2. In this way the variables were used. So we have to make it mapping file. Mapping file means it's just we are asking the system to please convert the headers from new to as per whatever written in the source file. That means source file, whatever the output file will come, it will be having the headers of previous system, headers of Fusion, and the whole text comes from the data set comes from QB, right? Now let me show you this also. If you see here in this image, if you see, in this image you can see here source QB, and here below is the target fusion. Okay, let's take a pen. Here is source QB, here is target QB. Okay, now what we have done here, we have changed the headers from old to new. Let me show you with the best example. Here we can see here, you can see this is the COA. Actually that address 1, address 2 I am talking about, that was the vendor. Here if you see the COA part in Fusion, there are some different settings, and here also in QB the settings were different. So now what we have done, we have given instruction to the developer that this is the asset part, the value is parent, and 9999999, that is the parent 4. So if I show you this, if you go here, look at this, total asset is the parent 4, and parent 3, that is the 11111. Here is parent 3, and then parent 2, that is 11,000. Look at this, 11,000 is the parent one. So we have written in such a way that the developer should also be able to understand exactly what he has to do. Clear? Now let me show you some practical work. Let's close this. Okay, I am deleting this new output file, right now I am deleting this, and let's come to the source file. So guys, look at this. We have written in one column, that is the particulars, QB, that is the account code, then the Fusion account code. Only these 3 columns are most important, right, for a developer or for a programmer, right? Now these 3 columns are important, and then programmer will write the code based on these. Clear? Now I'm going to hit the button. See here, Fusion COA. Okay, okay, the data is converted. Now see here, just now I have deleted the new output file, right? Few seconds back I deleted the new output file, and now again new output file is generated. Now let's see what's inside this file. Here comes. Now look at this, the developer has converted the complete data same as it is, as you like, right? Now there is a scripting works behind this. Now there is a scripting working behind this. I will show you the script also. Let me show you the script. Here comes the script. Now let me show you one more thing. First of all, script is written. Now this script is running. Now below this one macro will be written. One macro will be written, and how this macro will call will play this macro. Now see here, now this macro runs the command, runs the code. For example, if I hit this button, look at this here. So whenever I hit the button, let me show you with example here. As soon as you hit the button, right, then right, it runs the button, then the script runs, and then new output file is generated. So this is the complete cycle that executes as soon as you hit this button. Now I am going to show you how the code runs behind this, right? So let's have a look on how the code runs. So guys, if you see here, now see, we received this file as a mapping sheet. So first of all, I will show you the code. First of all, see, this is running in Python script, right? The code is written in Python script. So how Python will work, they have to accept that, yeah, okay. Now first of all, we have imported all the pandas function, all the necessary libraries, right, with the help of import command. If you might be familiar with Python, then you should be knowing this. that pip install whatever library you want to insert, right? Then let's go down. Here is the date, right? Let's come here. Now here it will check, first of all it will check ensure dispatch, right? It will check that whatever the file name is, right? Then if the workbook count that is greater than 0, that means the workbook count greater than 0 means it is referring to this, if this all these rows. Okay, then here we have created a new list. That means whatever the filter data or whatever the new type of arrangement we have to do, we can do it from here only. So new underscore list one, that is the variable, and inside that variable we have taken an array, that is means it's an array variable, right? Now what we have done here, read file. Here in this line we have read the complete file till its end. Now let's go to down, little down. Now here if, now see here we have already instructed that we will be receiving such type of file, right? So and here part 1, parent 1, parent 2, parent 3, up to parent 9, and then later on child also comes, right? So first of all developer will see that okay, how many columns are reserved for parent. So in this way 9 columns, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 columns were reserved. Okay, then what we have done, we have arranged them like parent 1, this is a list, right? It's a list part, and this list changes as per the requirement. So now in first column we have to put all the here. Okay, so this is for column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, column 6, column 7, column 8, and then column 9, 10. Okay, so here we have taken up to column 9, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, right? And remaining all we will keep it as blank. That is why in the output file you see here, see how large it is. So now what we have done, with the help of code, we have taken the data and arranged them in such a way that it should be used, with ease, right? Now see, this is much better, this view or this look is much better. So this type of macros and Python scripts are written. Python script alone can't help you much, right? So we have to use the macro. Now I am going to show you the macro part also, right? Macro part. Let's see this. Now I am going to hit this button, right? No, not now. Go to the developer part, and then here you comes edit. Now here is the macro part. Just a second. Okay, now here is the macro part. This macro runs as soon as the hit button is pressed, right? Now I will explain you what is this macro sheet all about. Now in this, first of all, we will see all the necessary libraries. All the necessary libraries are added here, right? And then, not library, it is a string. Yeah, all the necessary variables are given here, then file path, full file, and the file name. We need very few information from this. Most of the time we have been running the original code also, right? So now specify specify the use, right? So first of all, you have to define the path, exactly where the data is kept, right? Is to be kept. That means after massaging and cleaning, where the data is to be kept. Secondly, let's come here. What will be the source of now see here, mapping.py. Now this workbook means current here, right? Then we will use the mapping.py, that is the Python script. Now Python script, I have just now explained you. Python script is a script that works behind, but you should be able to know all these things. Then the script name is bunny, right? Now here is mapping.py. Now mapping.py, what is mapping.py? Where is mapping.py? Here is mapping.py. Now with the help of this mapping.file, you will be able to extract the complete data. See here, first of all, if it's a parent, now where is that? Here it is not written, but here it is written that where is the child. So now it will first loc in np, right? np where new minus df dx6. Okay, then here you can see here. Now this is the upper part for parent only, and this is the lower part for only child. And here it is fixed that parent 9, parent 8, parent 7, because we have already told that okay, don't make it that much dynamic, we can fill it. So now we are done with the parent part, and now we are done with the child part. In child part, what is happening here? Let's have a look on this library part. For x in DFL, then all the childs, for all the remaining childs, it will run a loop, and inside that loop, inside that loop you can see here, this blank means first column first cell, second column first column second cell, and in this way we can be able to create a new output file. Again one time, just give me a second. Where is that file created? Here is new output. Now in new output you will see the data. See, so guys, is this clear to you? Only data writing information is quite difficult, otherwise most of the things are easy. Okay, now I will show you some more examples also. Now one more thing that we need to discuss. In data migration, we have to get the important fields only. We don't need all fields, correct? Now Suppose here you have done okay, everything is fine. Now just forget these things for a few seconds, and then I will show you the vendor part. Customers part. Now see here, if you go through customer part, right, here you can see in the customer part. Now here in the customer part you will see the data which is inconsistent, and you can see here the blank columns also. Now in this blank column, a person manually, if he wants to fill the data, that it's okay, but how the machinery will understand? Here you can see one more, two columns are empty here. So this type of inconsistency comes when we work on data. So first of all, here pull the data first. Just a second, something is okay. Yes, now this, with the help of this mapping file, I have are you clear with this Python scripting? It is, let's have a quick recap again. It's very easy. As soon as you hit the button, now first of all get the data from the client, and then ask them to put it into the staging area, and in the from staging area you will get the data. So number one step is get the data. Massage it. Okay, massage it well, and then yes. So this is the complete process, and here I have shown you the complete technique of Python. First of all, we will import the necessary libraries. After that, we will apply a filter or the if condition, that exactly what is the tiniest unit of this, and then we will see this is for parent only. This arrangement is done for parent only. Okay, then we will see this part is for child only. So in this way the parent and child relationship is established and downloaded in the format of Excel sheet, right? So now let's see some other examples. Yes, in the customer. Now see here, in the legacy system or in the previous system, the customers are handled and managed in different way, and here in NetSuite, here in Fusion, we can see that we have the flexibility, right? So now let's open some other inside this QuickBook. vendor mapping, item list mapping not there, vendor mapping is done. Okay, vendor mapping, I will open the vendor mapping. QuickBook, let's see it. Here is vendor. Now let me open this vendor sheet. Okay, so now let me remove this also. Let me open this vendor file. Now see here, the vendor file looks like this. Now if you see the vendor data, vendor is a master data. So as we have already discussed that, first of all, the very information, crucial information which is required by the boss or which is required by the owner of the company, you can immediately hand over it. Right, now see here. Now see, now what happened here, just a second. Yes, if you see downloaded vendor file, now vendor file, it contains 35 rows unnecessarily. We are not concerned with this 35 rows. So what do? We have to delete it first. So we have to delete this first. Then let me show you one more thing. Yes, open this. Here is vendor file, right? So first of all, initial 35 rows will be deleted. Then you will see the column number A. This is also not necessarily useful for us, but still it is there because it is downloaded from the QuickBooks. Okay, now here also, if you see ADDR1, ADDR2, as I have been telling you what exactly the mapping is. Mapping ADDR1 is written in QB, and then mapping here in our fusion. In our fusion, it is written as address 1, right? So in this way, we have to map this. So what the developer will do? Developer will remove this. Developer, yeah, let me show you this. Developer will remove this ADDR1, and then developer will replace this address 1. So same thing we have done here. I will run this script also. If you go to the vendor part, okay, here is the vendor part. Now I will go to customize tab, and then I will hit the QB vendor. Okay, if I open this new output file, look at this. Address line 1, address line 1, 2, 3 up to 4. So this is how we have done the vendor part. Okay, so I will explain you the script behind this. Let me tell you the script behind this. First of all, we have written the script that these all the import libraries, right? Import library. Okay, then we will see here the excel.application. It's a library. It ensures that whatever the Excel sheet you are going to work on Excel sheet only, right? Then my workbook, that is the file name, we have kept it into the variable, And then if here you will see the workbook file, so we will take all the entries from that Excel sheet into a data frame, that is the workbook, excel.workbooks, right? And after that, see here, df equal to pd.read excel, that is the file. So this file will be read, and now it is in our variable. All the data comes in our variable. Now these are some commands with the help of which, first of all, we will take out all the headers of the source file, and then we will put it into a for loop, and then we will start replacing the data. Replacing the data means addr1 will become address line 1, addr2 will become address line 2. So in this way we will keep on changing. And what are these? These are the additional headers that are required into the Fusion. So we have added all this. Reindex. With the help of reindex, it will append all the additional headers, and after that, here you can see the new output XLSX index equal to false, and then Excel workbook open in the path new output XLSX. So in this way we have extracted the data, created the mapping file. Mapping file is nothing, take the header from source and map it with the target. If I show you again this, where is that vendor mapping file? Just a second. COA, here it is. Here it is. This is the mapping file, and then after that just apply the code here. Here is the mapping code. This is done by the Python developer. You just give instructions to the Python developer exactly what he need to do, and then the Python developer will convert it, and in this way the complete data is converted into the format that you really ready to upload. Now this file is ready to upload in the Fusion. Now the rest of the work will be done by Fusion consultant. He will take the file and then he will upload it into the Fusion. So guys, this is how the complete process is done. There is one more method, that is the macro method. I will explain you that method in our tomorrow's webinar, but for this you need to keep this in mind, that as soon as you hit the button, macro command runs to execute the code, and then script is written in JavaScript, right? And then new output file is generated. Just a second, it is written in Python. There are two options that we have. One is the Python and other is the JavaScript. So it is better you have to take the Python part, right? And then if we talk about the NetSuite, then it will be written in the JavaScript, but right now we are working on Fusion, so new output file is generated. Same thing, get data from client, massage it well, and then upload the data, right? So this is all about the data massaging. Today we have seen only data massaging part, how data is massaged, and then how we will generate the new output file. And in our next part we will see the macro part also. We will cover this part again. For the first 15 minutes we will cover this part, and remaining for 30 to 40 minutes we will cover the macro part, and then how it is uploaded, how it is kept into the staging area, that is another thing. Today we have seen that how we get the data from the staging area, correct? So guys, I recommend you to watch my previous 2 videos also, webinars also. They are most important, because if you watch from beginning, so it will be more easy to you to understand. And in our tomorrow's webinar, we will see how macro works behind the data transformation. Clear? And if you are new to this channel, then please subscribe my channel. So guys, thanks for attending the webinar. Thank you.